Let's talk about something that's kind of weird. A puzzle you've probably seen happen right in front of you. It's the strange paradox that happens when super smart people meet their own bank accounts.
I mean, think about it for a second. We all know people like this, right? The ones who are always reading, who have PhDs or law degrees. Folks whose brains can just unravel the most ridiculously complex problems at work. They're sharp, they're successful, and by any measure, they are just incredibly intelligent.
And yet, for all that brain power, so many of them are a total mess with their finances. And it's not because they're lazy or don't care. It's because the whole game of money, it requires a completely different set of skills than the ones they've spent their entire lives perfecting.
So, why? Why can a brilliant mind that can solve insane calculus problems get totally tripped up by a simple personal budget? Well, the answer, as we're about to see, is actually pretty straightforward.
See, the root of the problem isn't some kind of personal failure. It's just a fundamental mismatch. We're all taught that if you're smart, you work hard, money will just kind of happen. But, that's really not the full story. Because here's the thing you have to get. Real life doesn't reward raw intelligence in a straight line. Not at all. It rewards behavior, emotion, timing, and having good systems. You can be an absolute genius, but if your entire toolkit is built for a world of pure, clean logic, you're going to have a rough time in the messy, emotional, unpredictable world of personal finance.
And this just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the intellectual toolkit, logic, deep analysis, those beautiful, complicated spreadsheets. That's what school rewards. It's what high-paying jobs reward. But on the other side, you have how money actually works in the real world. And that's all about our behavior, our gut feelings, our fear, and our greed, and just simple timing. It's like they're two completely different languages.
So this mismatch, it creates these specific blind spots. We can even call them traps, and they're traps that really smart people are uniquely likely to fall into. Let's break down the three biggest ones. First up, you've got the logic trap. Then there's the education gap, and finally, we have the perfection trap. Okay, so first is the logic trap. We're taught to believe that good decisions come from good reasoning, but finance is driven by gut feelings, fear of missing out, panic selling, all of it. And here's the crazy twist. Being super intelligent can actually make this worse. A really sharp mind is an absolute expert at what psychologists call motivated reasoning. Basically, it's the art of creating a brilliant, logical-sounding excuse for a decision you already made emotionally. And that flows right into the next problem, the education gap. Think about it. Our entire education system is built to make us better earners. We get the degree, we get the better job, we get the higher salary. We learn how to make money, but nobody ever really teaches us how to manage it.
And what happens? Well, it's something we've all seen or maybe even lived through. Lifestyle inflation. The paycheck gets bigger, so the car gets fancier, the apartment gets nicer, the vacations get more expensive. You end up with way more income, but you have the exact same financial stress as before. You're just juggling bigger numbers.
Which brings us to our final trap, the perfection trap. Smart people, they love complexity. They love optimizing things. They don't just want a good investment strategy. They want the perfect one, the optimal budget. So they read and they research and they analyze. And they wait. But here's the hard truth. Boring, simple consistency will beat a brilliant but delayed plan every single time. Wealth doesn't reward perfect planning, it rewards getting started.
Okay, so if logic and a great education and brilliant plans can actually work against us, then what in the world actually works? This is where we have to totally reframe how we think about this. We got to stop treating money like it's some kind of IQ test and start seeing it for what it really is, a behavior test.
So that really begs the question, doesn't it? If it's not about being the smartest person in the room, what's the single most valuable skill you can possibly have when it comes to building wealth?
And here it is. This is the big idea. This is the whole thing. Money doesn't give a damn about your GPA or how clever your arguments are. It is a raw, unfiltered test of your habits, your discipline, and how well you can manage your own emotions. It's all about what you do day in and day out over and over again.
So the real skills for getting wealthy are actually pretty simple, and they're available to literally everyone. It's about having the humility to admit you don't have all the answers. It's choosing boring consistency over exciting flashes of brilliance. It's having the self-awareness to know what triggers your financial anxiety. And maybe most important of all, it's about doing less, but doing it with unshakable reliability. Think automatic transfers to your savings, simple index funds, set it and forget.
All right, let's bring this all home. If you're a really smart person and you've struggled with money, the big takeaway here is that there's nothing wrong with you. It just means you were taught how to win the wrong game, using a totally different set of rules.
The second you stop trying to outsmart the market or build the world's most perfect spreadsheet, and you instead just start building simple systems that work with our messy, flawed human behavior, that's when everything changes. Automating your savings isn't about convenience. It's about taking you, with all your emotions and your second guessing, out of the equation. That is how you win this game.
And that leaves us with one last question to chew on. Just forget about the perfect, complex solution for a minute. Instead, ask yourself this. What is one simple, maybe even kind of boring system that you can set up today that will start working for you automatically tomorrow?